Welcome back to CBS Mornings. As the LSU Tigers continue to celebrate their women's college basketball title, there's a CBS News investigation has been digging into this troubling gender gap when it comes to research about injured players. The vast majority of research we have about the effects of concussions on athletes is based on men, which may be leaving women without the care they need. Nikki Batiste is here with what this means for helping keep female athletes safe. Nikki, good morning. So important.
Such an important topic. Natalie, good morning. We spoke with several female athletes whose remarkable stories made it clear this gender gap in concussion research can have devastating effects. When this University of Connecticut point guard took a tough hit in December, her concussion silenced the crowd.
A little bit of blood in her mouth, you can see.
And while the popularity of women's sports continues to rise, we spoke with female athletes who found a sports world unprepared for the unique impacts of concussions on women.
Growing up, what were your volleyball hopes and dreams?
Without a doubt, an Olympic gold medal.
Haley Hodson had a reason to dream of gold. She was the #1 college volleyball prospect in the country, eventually playing for top-ranked Stanford. Haley excelled.
It's a lot of work. I've been working really hard on adjusting to the right side.
But her Olympic dreams took a hit at practice during what her coaches called the courage drill.
Keep your face in it.
I just got hit square in basically the eye socket. It really felt like target practice, and I was the target.
She was diagnosed with a concussion, but Haley says she was back on the court less than 2 weeks later against UCLA.
Yeah.
So this is the UCLA hit.
That's when Haley suffered another ball to the head in almost the same spot.
She definitely had to feel that one.
This ball went off my forehead and into the rafters of Pauley Pavilion. The rest of the season is frankly a blur. I was like, what is going on? Like, I was always really healthy. It was so far beyond, like, pain or like a sadness. I was like, I'm not functional.
Research shows that reports of concussions among young female athletes have tripled in the last 20 years. Meanwhile, 80% of sports concussion research has focused on men.
It's not always the obvious instances that you see where a concussion occurs.
Brianna Scurry won Olympic gold in both Athens and Atlanta for the U.S. women's soccer team.
I think there's a perception that women have fewer concussions because women don't play as hard.
Yeah. No.
Brianna says that it was this knee directly to her temple in Philadelphia in 2010 that sent her career and her life into a tailspin.
So I had these headaches that were streaming from behind my left ear every day for 3 years.
In a documentary by Paramount Plus, a sister company of CBS News, Brianna explained how medical bills ruined her financially, so much that she had to pawn her gold medals to pay the rent.
Do you think enough is known about concussions in women's sports?
Absolutely not. Your ankle, your shoulder, your knee affects, walking or throwing or being able to comb your hair. Your brain being injured affects everything.
You are not you if your brain is changing.
Chris DeLauro is a cognitive neuroscientist at the Air Force Academy who looked at the gender gap in treating concussions.
Your daughter is more likely to get a concussion playing soccer than your son is. But if they were to get a concussion and enter the protocol, 80% of the data is from male patients who are more like your son.
His study last year reported that women are more likely to receive a concussion than male athletes playing the same sport.
You're not weak if you take care of yourself. It's okay to step off a court and advocate for your health.
Haley Hodson sued Stanford in 2018, saying the school masked and overlooked her brain injuries and instructed her to continue competing. The lawsuit is ongoing.
These are the girls.
Brianna eventually won her fight with the insurance companies and had surgery in her neck that delivered relief and allowed her to get her life back along with her Olympic medals.
Do you feel like the same person today that you did pre-concussion?
Actually, I think I'm better. I used to be incredibly intense. I still am, but I smile more.
Stanford told us it vigorously disputes Haley Hodson's account, saying she received excellent training and care at the school. As for the research, everyone we spoke with agreed that it's about getting money directed at women's research that will change the game. And I want to address
the why is this happening. And I spoke with Dr. Robert Parisian at Mount Sinai here. He studies concussions. He said, we simply don't know yet. I said, is there a neuroanatomical difference in your brain and our brains?
Right.
He said, we don't know. What we do know is that female necks aren't as strong or developed as male necks. And he said there is some data that there may be hormonal differences too. Which is interesting. I know this topic is close to you.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Documented, I believe I had 6 concussions,
Right.
but in reality, dating all the way back to Pop Warner, it's more like 12 to 15.
Man,
What I
that's a
do know,
lot.
the game is doing a better job of creating concussion protocols on every level, which is a good thing. And it needs to
The
be the
equal
same for
treatment
women.
for women, exactly.
That's right. Nikki, thank you so much.
Thank you.